World Cup 2026 news. The ball has stopped rolling, but this World Cup keeps producing stories every single day. Spain came home as world champions and found an entire country out on the streets to celebrate. Young Lamine Yamal is being talked about everywhere for something nobody had ever done before. Messi is still saying nothing about his future with Argentina. The tournament's final numbers are out, and they are staggering. And in Brazil, the Football Federation has made its call on Ancelotti's future. Here are the 5 biggest stories of the day. Let's start with the celebration. The Spanish squad landed back home as world champions and were welcomed like national heroes. Before the parade, the players were received by the royal family and by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. After that, they climbed onto an open-top bus and rolled through central Madrid with the trophy in their hands. Estimates put almost 2 million people on the streets, with red flares lighting up the sky and Puerta del Sol completely packed. And there's a detail that makes this party even bigger. With the men's title added to the women's title won in 2023, Spain became the first country ever to hold the men's and women's world crowns at the same time. And the name filling the headlines after this title belongs to a kid. Lamine Yamal, 19 years old, has become the first teenager in history to win both a European Championship and a World Cup. He arrived at the tournament with doubts over his fitness because of a muscle problem, yet he started 7 of Spain's 8 matches and won every single one of them. In the final he was also part of one of the strongest images of the day, when he embraced a tearful Lionel Messi out on the pitch. It was the first time in World Cup history that a final had 2 starters separated by more than 20 years in age. Now for the story the whole world is waiting on. After the defeat in the final, everyone wants to know whether Messi will really end his international career with Argentina. So far, nothing official. The number 10 has made no formal statement about international retirement. What exists is a report from the Argentine press claiming he spoke to his teammates in the dressing room before the final, telling them it would be his last time in the national shirt. None of that has been confirmed by him. What is certain is that his club career goes on. His contract with Inter Miami runs through 2028. The final numbers of this World Cup are out, and they explain why this tournament goes down in history. More than 6,800,000 fans went through the turnstiles across the 104 matches, the biggest attendance ever recorded at a World Cup. The average per game came in around 65,500 supporters, with stadiums essentially full from start to finish. And there was no shortage of goals. 308 in total, an average of almost 3 per match, the best at a World Cup since 1970. All of that in the first edition played by 48 teams and across 3 host countries at once. And to close, Brazil, after being knocked out in the round of 16 by Norway, 2-1, with a double from Erling Haaland, the pressure on Carlo Ancelotti was enormous. It was Brazil's earliest World Cup exit since 1990. Even so, the Brazilian Federation decided to keep the Italian coach and carry the project on to 2030, betting on stability instead of yet another change at the top. The board judged that sacking him now would only throw the national team back into the crisis cycle of recent years. Ancelotti has already talked about looking for new ideas, saying that for him this is the beginning and not the end of his work with Brazil. To recap the day, almost 2 million people out on the streets of Madrid to celebrate champions Spain, now the first country to hold the men's and women's world titles at the same time. Lamine Yamal, at 19, became the first teenager to win both a Euro and a World Cup. Messi still has made no official announcement about his Argentina future. The tournament closed with more than 6,800,000 fans in the stadiums and 308 goals. And Brazil confirmed Ancelotti through 2030. Thanks for following along with us. Follow the channel, because the road to the next World Cup has already begun.